Hey guys, Jay-Sensei here again. Let's see what if Naruto is the reincarnation of Roy Mustang. So, got my notes right here, and I'll begin the video. Alright, so Roy Mustang dies in his own verse, and basically how it happens is, well, actually not how it happens, how he reincarnates inside Naruto. So Naruto's born with black hair, first thing first. Also born with decently good looks as well. So, he's a pretty cool guy. Well, yes, in his verse, he'd be a pretty cool guy. And, well, just like how Mustang had an adoptive mother, or a paternal mother, well, Naruto would have a paternal father, because there's not only a mother figure in his life until after he meets his soon-to-be paternal father, being Jiraiya. So with this, Naruto basically ends up being adopted by Jiraiya in exchange for a mother instead. So with this, instead of getting a mother, Naruto has a father. And Naruto would train under Jiraiya for a few years. When Naruto was 10 years old, he would take the Shinobi graduation test. But the fact that, well, he's already insanely skilled. Naruto's even learned a form of ninjutsu by studying old history, to the point where he can perform ninjutsu by actually using a glove. This glove happens to be imbued with chakra, as Naruto had made chakra threads out of this glove, or made chakra threads to make into the glove. Kind of like cotton candy mixture along with basic, like, I compared it to cotton candy making along with actual glove making. Kind of like that to make the actual glove. And with this, well, Naruto happened to already be adapted with wind release, earth release, and fire release. All three of these things combined, Naruto turned it into explosion release as well. So Naruto is imbued with flame alchemy and explosion release. So yeah, he also can ignite flames in his fingers, doing any form of insane motions. So yeah. There's some music in the background. I'm watching the new Cobra Kai season in the background. I'll try not to say anything about it, so it's prevent spoilers, so how popular the show is. I'm telling you right now, it's amazing. Chosen is a G. Alright. So with this, we go on basically to Naruto. When he's 10, he takes the graduation exam. And he's kind of taking the middle of the classroom that he'd be in originally, but, well, he left the village when he's 2 years old with Jiraiya, so, yeah. So the girls kind of deem Naruto very good looking and even a bit flirtatious. And he's very shallow and self-absorbed, and also very cocky, kind of like Sasuke, basically. And when Iruka tells Kiryu this, and Kiryu's like, Jiraiya, why is he like that? He's very different from you and Minato. And Jiraiya says, that's a facade he puts on. And so he's traveling with me to the point where a facade has to be normalized. I wish it wasn't like that, but this is what he has to do. It's just a normal trait for defense. And Kiryu just says, a war tactic. And weird to understand that. Get him out of that shell, Jiraiya. First, just last thing, saying that the shell isn't coming off anytime soon. But allow him to gain friends, and that shell would be as if it never existed. As he just smiles. Kiryu would nod. And with this, well, Naruto passes the exam with flying colors. His taijutsu skills are insane. He's roughly about, I would say, in terms of skill, comparable to Rock Lee. I'm talking about Rock Lee at the beginning of Shippuden. His skills amazing. So yeah. So with Naruto's skill being comparable to at least a Jonin, the lowest he's a Jonin level taijutsu combatant. We also go on to basically his kunai, shuriken, all that throwing location. And Naruto basically I would say, well, he doesn't do too bad or too good. So yeah. So yeah, I'll hold up again. So I'd say Naruto, and just in terms of his marksmanship or his accuracy, he can do a bit of work, but mainly, well, to him it needs work. But even to someone Chunin Iruka, even he uses work, but he's really good for Genin. So yeah, so he's pretty good. Okay, he's pretty okay. Then when it's IQ, most driving Kakashi. Even Iruka points that out, that Naruto's smarter than him. So yeah. And we go on basically to, I'd say we can go on 2 years later when Naruto's 12 years old, maybe even 13. So I'll go 13. Maybe 13. Naruto sports basically I would say the same typical outfit as Mustang, because Naruto tried to settle down for a bit. So yeah. So yeah, basically Naruto with I would say he sports the same attire as Mustang. It's just because when him and Jiraiya settle down, Naruto get better marksmanship. You do in a country that happened to be it was allied with the hidden cloud, but he didn't mind that. So, yeah. Also, guys wondering why he has brown hair. Not brown, black hair. It's just a birth defect. So, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so we're on to Naruto now when he's basically just, So we go on to, I would say, now, just Naruto when he's, well, yes, guess not in the academy, but when he's chosen to be on a Genin team. And when Sasuke, like, makes fun of Naruto not being a Chunin already, he's saying, like, oh, by now I'd already be a Chunin. Naruto just looks at him, saying, I'm already comfortable with most Jonin. And I was like that at 10 years old. Why aren't you comfortable to at least a Chunin? Sasuke just froze immediately in the spot with Kiba and everyone else in the class laughing at him, besides the girls. Sakura yelled at Naruto, calling him a fool, but Naruto basically kind of just told him shut up. So yeah. Well, Sakura told him shut up, then he yelled at her. So yeah. Not yelled, but just kind of glared her down. She blushed, but got nervous. But yeah. Going with this, he selected to be put on Team 7 because he'd be a bottom of the class if he was here, because he'd be gone most of the time. So yeah. Also, just honestly, just by technicality. But yeah. So we can go on to, I would probably say, just Naruto when he's, well, on Team 7, well, when it comes to them, Naruto just asks them if they knew like anything about chakra control. Sasuke says he can do fireball jutsu. Naruto says it's perfect because he's a specialist in fire style ninjutsu. He's even revolutionized it. But no one really knows how he did it. Besides his own father, basically. Sasuke would actually ask Prince about actually revolutionizing it. But Naruto snapped once and kind of lit half the room on fire immediately. Everyone like, panicking about this, but he kind of snapped and the flames were gone immediately with minimal burn damage, which he can repair pretty easily. Because now he can use wind, fire, earth, and water release. Well, he's missing his lightning, because dry can't do it either. So yeah. Alright, so yeah. So going on, we basically go on to like Alright, so going on, basically we go on to just Team 7, me and Kakashi, has likes and dislikes. And Naruto, well, doesn't like opening up, but he says, well, he thinks really hard about this before he answers. Well, I mean, like, someone can split second, but in his mind, it's hours. So he then says, I guess I would like, women are a fun topic, I'd say. Writing as well. Training is also something I'm accustomed to. So women, writing, training. I like those three things. Sake isn't bad either, but I'm underage, so I wouldn't rather get into that. My dislikes, people who disrespect me and my efforts. Which actually is something that Naruto didn't mean to actually say, but he let it go. So yeah, we'll pull it off. Then we go into basically his goals and dreams. He says he wants to be at least worthy of the title of Sanin, or at least, well, basically at the lowest Sanin, highest god of shinobi. This is what he aspires to be. There's no use hiding that. Which has to somewhat greatly impress Kakashi. Sasuke kind of says like the same. I say the same things in canon, or then we also go on other things too. Sasuke and Sakura kind of say the same things, and in canon she doesn't like Naruto because he yelled at her and disrespected Sasuke. So yeah. So yeah. Well, we can go on probably just now to the next day of the bell test. Well, Naruto himself is already good at manipulation, so he knew Kakashi was like what he meant. Well, also dry gave him the bell test a few times, so yeah. Honestly, it was more or less a test to see if he can if he can just work with the surroundings. Dry even make clones that Dry knows a lot of ways to fight. Dry taught Naruto the ways of the hidden leaf. These people use different styles of fighting. These clones do. Naruto didn't know how to work with it. So immediately, he heard the point of the test, and Kakashi disappeared. He told them. So as he told them, well, they didn't believe him. So, yeah. Pause. All right. So Naruto, when he came to the test, they didn't believe him. Then when they came on eating, Kakashi was already 10 minutes late. Naruto had arrived saying that he woke up early for them, so they better be grateful. He dumped down food for them. They ate it immediately. He then sat down meditating in a tree, and Sasuke actually asked him to do like the hand signless alchemy. Not alchemy, but fire release. But Naruto says the way he did it took him decades, not decades, took him a few years to repair, Sasuke can't learn it in minutes. Aki says, oh yeah, just watch me. He tried to do it, like the same stuff that Naruto did, but he couldn't do it. He didn't even put together the Naruto's explosion with his glove, but Sakura did already. So yeah. So with this, we go on forward again, basically when Kakashi would arrive. They didn't know how to control their their chakra, so he had them basically walk up walls and walk up trees. Well, trees and water. Alright, so as soon as Kakashi arrived, Sasuke had already gotten it down, with Naruto already having struggles himself before. Well, he taught Sasuke how to do it pretty quickly. Same Sasuke had the same struggles. Naruto and him both have too much chakra for their age, so it's bound to be hard to control. Not by that, Naruto had too much, and well, he has a beast inside of him that suppresses it at all times, so it's either high or low. He doesn't know at the time. But him and that beast do have some form of, well, connection. Naruto can tell as well. The beast can tell that Naruto knows. They both put up a facade so they don't hurt themselves or others. Well, Kurama, because just he doesn't want to have hurt himself, so yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So we go on basically to now. I would say just Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura fighting Kakashi. I see that being the next arc. So yeah. So when it comes to them, well, we'd go on to basically just Sasuke and Sakura. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. As they fight, I could see them going on. Well, not just to fight like within organize a plan, but Sasuke wouldn't listen. Sakura wouldn't either. So what Naruto does instead, well, he says to manipulate them both, saying that Sasuke already agreed to the plan when he met Sakura. I was like telling him that he told Sakura he's going to see Sasuke. So Naruto eventually snuck over back to Sakura, telling her, Sasuke agreed to the plan. Can you help me now? He said, if Sasuke agreed to it, fine, sure. Then with this, Naruto eventually got over to I would say So I didn't see Naruto going over to So even though they go on to Naruto just with Sasuke, how that would work. Naruto tells Sasuke that Shinobi do need teamwork. Sasuke well, no, that never happens. My brother started a whole clan of the strongest clan in history by himself. You think that I would need your help? So Naruto basically just kind of let this as he knows his history. He says, well, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Sakura. Not Sakura. Jiraiya, Tsunade, Orochimaru. Those are the three legendary Sannin. Three people who can rival third Hokage. Well, individually they can rival third Hokage. They have confidence in Itachi beating him. And Sasuke immediately just froze on the spot, saying they were a team. Naruto says, yep, still are. Just two of them. Well, no one's a team. One of them turned evil. The other one got depressed. But a battlefield where they fight together, they'll still do it. No matter how much you don't like each other, you need to fight as a group, even if it calls for it. Are you willing to do that? And Sasuke just says, yeah. So with this, Naruto immediately told him a plan, knowing he's the smart one on them all, and they even know it as well. Even Iruka admitted it from the class 3 years ago. Naruto was smarter than him. So yeah. So Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura basically go fight against Kakashi, immediately using a plan that Naruto had formed. It's a plan of like 10 minutes or so. Naruto kind of had a shadow clone doing all the work for him, which is just bombarding Kakashi with some smoke bombs, but hitting the ground with explosions. Kakashi realized this was clone halfway through, realizing that this clone was insanely weak. Well, at least compared to the real Naruto, it was weak. But Naruto instantly ambushed Kakashi, kicking him. Then, for some reason, Naruto's eyes lit up red, but couldn't see what the red was. He assumed it was Nine Tails power, but it wasn't. Quickly, he saw Naruto using Lion's Barrage. Then was something else. This Naruto's wearing gloves. Like the original Naruto would. But eventually, well, as Kakashi is walking Lion's Barrage from this Naruto, suddenly his headband came off, and it covered one of his eyes. He's like, okay, cool. I tried not to one that was uncovered. But then Sasuke saw it. So Kakashi's like, oh shit, wasn't supposed to see it. Then before Kakashi knew it, Naruto tried to hit him, but he had dodged. And he doesn't know Naruto wears gloves. He doesn't know what the gloves do. Naruto just lit his pant leg on fire. So yeah. So pause. Yeah, so Naruto kind of lit Kakashi on fire. Which Kakashi's like, I'm on fire. And he was like, wait. Then Kakashi puts him into a log, and Naruto already knew it. So he's like, alright, well, if that was your plan, it wouldn't work. Where's Sakura now? She was useless. And Naruto just smirks saying, no, she isn't. He moves one finger, and immediately, well, there's a string. The string on fire, and the whole forest blows up. Sakura jumping out of the forest for the last second, and Naruto using a clone to grab her. Kakashi jumped out of the air with part of his clothes burned. But Naruto is smart, moving one finger up in the air, and the flames move upwards even higher. Then Naruto started using explosion, throwing it right at Kakashi, but using actual chakra, and then not just his glove. I thought he could dodge it knowing Naruto's speed, but no. This was a lot faster. As soon as he blocked it like a jutsu, well, the fire was still left, and hit Kakashi point blank in the chest, sending him to the ground, crashing. Kakashi got the smoke, only to be punched in the chest by Naruto using a chakra cloak 1, sending him flying all the way into a tree, and again, unconscious. Yet, Naruto and Kakashi are basically equal to intelligence, and Naruto knew this, so he thought how Kakashi would. Plus, with how good Naruto is at, well, manipulation, Kakashi just played right into his hand the whole time. So yeah. But Naruto kind of saw what he did in the forest, and immediately kind of like destroyed all the trees. Not destroyed them, but kind of turned them on like firewood for all of Konoha. Before immediately kind of putting siege down for everyone the whole night. When he was done, well, the whole area had been restored by his Earth release, with seeds being planted still. So yeah. There's a month and a half would pass. As they pass for teamwork. Just Naruto's kind of leading it the whole time. Kakashi even acknowledged Naruto's like probably the leader of the team besides him each time over, with Sasuke Sakura present. Which they realize that it's not wrong. So they hate it, but he's not wrong. So yeah. Oh, pause. Alright, so yeah, so month and a half would pass. And well, Naruto had learned one lightning release jutsu. But Naruto's working on a new skill. Kakashi had already told Naruto that he relied on gloves too much. Even Sakura figured out that his power was a glove. But Naruto did point out that his glove even tricked someone with the Sharingan like Sasuke. Good wondering how Sasuke had the Sharingan. Naruto beat the pulp out of him, but beat him to a pulp for 2 hours straight until Kakashi arrived, until he learned how to walk on water and trees. That's how Sasuke did it in 2 hours. I'm not just scared to beat the crap out of him. That's how it happened. So yeah. And with all this, Sasuke even used a Sharingan. So yeah. Alright. So going forward, we go on now basically to Team 7. And, when Tazuna came to see them, well, he didn't really believe that this group of kids helped him until he pointed out that Naruto's gear belonged to military. Which actually not even no one knew besides Naruto. And Jiraiya, too. He's like, really? What military? So I was like, oh, well, it's a small land allied with Hidden Cloud. I reached out to them, but they're even too expensive for even a D rank. So I relied on you. And so to smirk saying, yeah, it is. And you said they were a little too expensive. Should reveal, and he just prefers to name a few things of whether it would get dead giveaway that Tazuna was needy, and even lying. Tazuna revealed all things, and she was like, "So you're a liar, aren't you?" Tazuna froze, saying, "You did the same thing, you brat." She says, "Yep." He was like, "Well, we're going to charge you more." And he's like, "No, we're not. We'll do it as a D rank. Well, we'll do it as an A rank, and we'll A rank pay here, Jen. But Team 7 will guard you. We're all pretty strong." And basically everyone in the army is running as strong as a basic Chunin, even one or two of them as strong as a basic Jonin. So yeah. Pulse. Alright, so with this, we go on basically to the Starlight Blaze mission and the Demon Brothers immediately. But as soon as Naruto teleported from a distance, because he's also really good at sentry ninjutsu, like I said before, him and the Nine-Tailed are pretty good allies. Not pretty good, but they're okay. So yeah. So with this, well, we go on to forward, I would say. So yeah. I'd say when it came to the puddle, Naruto kind of saw it ahead, not like he saw miles away, but they're out of earshot, but not out of eyesight. So Naruto immediately kind of he was coughing, he just covered his mouth, he would actually mumble, saying, "Puddle ahead is a genjutsu, I've been using it myself." So the moment we get near it, Sasuke blast it. And then being patting Naruto's back as mumble something back, oh, they sound like, are you like, they think about this, like, are you okay? But then, well, one of them would talk for the one that's saying things. Tarzan realizes how good teamwork they have. As soon as they get close to it, well, Sasuke already are prepping the hand signs. It's Sakura and him play cutesy with him actually using her hands for hand seals. As soon as they got close enough, the Yamilers realized it, but they couldn't escape in time without being blasted into flames. And this, as they jump out of the puddle, one of them was already barely burned, and the other one went right at Sakura. But not just her the basic self-defense. She does pretty good, actually. She immediately just jump forward, and will immediately kind of just put him in a chokehold. But as soon as he tried to basically just scratch at her, Kashi kind of kicked him in the chest already, and that was the fight right then and there. He knocked the wind out of him and broke his ribs. Other than that's pretty badly damaged, he kind of just had his flames controlled by Naruto, and then kept being burned. Insanely hot, actually. So with this, well, they should give all their info, and Naruto's plan had worked. So yeah, so as they walk over, basically, these two to the area with Zabuza, when basically gets on the waves, they talk about the area of Zabuza. But Naruto already saw the Genjutsu coming. He's basically immune to Genjutsu still. Okay, I keep mentioning it. Him and the Nine Tails are on good terms. They know it. They don't admit it, but they are. And the Nine Tails get granted him a few abilities, so it works out. So, yeah. Going forward again, we go on basically to, I would say, well... So going on to, I would probably say Zabuza. When Naruto and Kakashi already brainstormed a plan, with Naruto already assuming that there could be stronger people here. So with this, as soon as Zabuza and Haku, as soon as the mist rolls in, Naruto regardless of Genjutsu, saying he's fought a few hidden shinobi in his life. Research in other lands is dangerous, even if it's not as a shinobi. So Naruto immediately just kind of felt like Genjutsu, and immediately just said, disperse. Alright, so going on, we go on basically just Naruto, and, the mist rolls around. Naruto already called it, released a Genjutsu, and it was the mist wasn't Genjutsu, it was part of it, wasn't the full thing. There's a lot thicker mist right here, but Naruto already knew it. So he had his glove filled with chakra, with Kakashi even fueling it a bit. He even gave Kakashi his own glove, actually. Naruto says the glove is not strictly based. It has stronger fire release and wind release properties. If you were to use any other nature, it wouldn't be too bad. So yeah. So with this, when it came down to it, we go on basically to, I would say, Zabuza and, Haku. When the blade is thrown, Kakashi immediately kind of had the glove under his own, and he would just use one simple motion, and seemed he seemed like a flying Chidori without him even moving. Immediately, the blade is broken in half. Naruto grabbed one half of it, as Zabuza grabbed the wrong half. With how weird Naruto grabbed the blade, just to actually not scare, but confuse him. Zabuza thought he grabbed the hilt, only to cut his hand open, then ended up throwing the blade right at Zabuza's head. With this, it went for Zabuza's head, but almost impaled him. And Naruto eventually had Kakashi kind of electrocute the side of the blade that was on the ground still. And because it's the mist, it's kind of somewhat liquid. So Naruto had Sasuke and Sakura escape, while Naruto knew Haku was there, so kind of being ambushing the flames with loads of explosions. So with this, with Sasuke and Sakura being able to really get on this with Tazuna, with Kakashi using ability, Naruto had fortified himself with chakra and Naruto's cloak, and Kakashi just used advanced chakra control to have a shield on him. Kakashi suffered minimal injury, while Zabuza was being full and electrocuted and bombarded with explosions. Not deadly because they need answers from him, but still it's enough to take him down for a long time. But Naruto faked a killing blow for Zabuza. Haku jumped in and tried to take the blow immediately. The blade had attacked and dispersed immediately, only to get pumped right in the chest by Haku. Not by Haku. Haku realized it was faked out, just only get pumped right in the chest by Naruto. And so in the fight right then and there. With this, Naruto and Kakashi at 5, and they rest Haku and Zabuza. And Naruto says he doesn't like amending the mission, he'll take the mission pay, but he needs to bring these out to the Hidden Leaf, or they'll be too big of a threat for later. And Kakashi agreed to this. So Naruto uses like a giant party of clones as they bring these to the Hidden Leaf. Takes him a few hours, but he gets there. Which, probably not. But I see it taking him like half the time that's in canon, because of his team being slower than him by a lot, even if he uses a cloak. Actually, without him using a cloak, he's probably as fast as Kakashi is. When using a full cloak, which is around 3 Tails cloak, he gets the Hidden Leaf in half the time, maybe even quarter of the time. When he gets there, it's still nightfall, and he turns him into the Hidden Leaf prison. Pearson tells Naruto to push his limits, and maybe he can back in time to get a full A rank mission pay. At the lowest, a B rank. Naruto would nod as he goes into his attack's power, asking the Nine Tails for at least a 4 Tails cloak. Nine Tails refused to give Naruto that much power, just for a simple paycheck, so Naruto would do so. but Naruto eventually would actually refuse to give him even one cloak, refuse to even give him one cloak, which was supposed to take a paycheck. Which says when Naruto he has to walk back to Land of Waves. Well, he has to run still, and body flicker there, but it won't go too well. Well, he'll go well, but he's not as fast as as he is in like normal cloak stages. Back in Land of Waves, Naruto eventually go back to this team has left for like a day and a half, probably like 8-9 hours. He's there with them. Meets them at their house, sleeps for the whole day, and then eventually, came down training. He actually realized that they already knew how to. Well, not realize. He already knew they could control their own chakra, and yeah. But going on, we basically go over to, I would say, going over, probably just actually Chidori training for Sasuke, because, he already knew it. But I'm going to be teaching Sakura a bit more basics of just what he learned in the military for a small nation, but also just basic ninja skills. She had none of that talent, so he's teaching it to her. Because Naruto now wields all 5 natures, he's mastered 3 of the 5. He's helping Sakura learn them. So yeah. But yeah. So for around a week and a half, they all train, and then actually kind of has Sakura focus on strengthening her taijutsu and chakra control. The fact that Naruto, he knows about Tsunade, he's heard about the legendary Sannin themselves, and from how Sakura is now, with actually Naruto having her review, not like refuse, but have her exaggerate her love for Sasuke. Exaggerate that love, not physical love, but a love to protect him and use her own power to do so. Not rely on what Sasuke knows, rely on what she can do. And Sakura would do just that. Her taijutsu skills grow rapidly with how good of a learner she is, and Naruto realizes how good of her chakra she is, and how good at genjutsu she is. So, yeah, by the end of the week, they're about to leave, only for basically, they see 2 people on the bridge that look a little too familiar. Naruto these 2 people, saying he thought he brought them into prison. And Zabuza says any guard is immune to seeing no guard is immune to seeing a demon in his face. Not even the great Ibiki is. And Naruto smirks, saying he knew he should stay behind to take the lower paycheck. With this, Naruto basically ignited his flames and was kind of being just around his fist. They won't burn him because his gloves are made of chakra. Gets his flames come from the same chakra. So Naruto kind of ran at Zabuza and punched at his blade, almost kind of burning a hole through it immediately. Which does shock Zabuza, but he eventually pushes it to his blade, making, hot metal hit his face. Which gives Naruto a spotlight burn mark, and will actually damage one of his eyes. With Haku ended up going to finish the job. But Naruto ended up smirking, saying he doesn't need his eyes, he's a really good sentry ninja. He dodged Haku's blow, and she broke his arm immediately. Then we went for a kick, going to bring Haku to one knee, only to get dropped in the chest by Sakura, taking all the wind out of Haku immediately with how strong Sakura is. Haku thought he got away in time. Haku could have escaped if he didn't underestimate Sakura. That's how it went. With Haku at the ground holding his chest, coughing rapidly, only to have his head just stomped on by Kakashi completely, and Zabuza kind of has a brother kunai thrown at him. He doesn't know where from, but he got all them with the sword immediately, but one of them stuck into the sword, saying, a chakra imbued one. You thought it'd break through it? Yeah, maybe in the burn part, but that's all it is. But Sasuke just smirks, saying, no, I learned a little trick. Immediately the wires would be lightning, and immediately just made Zabuza drop the blade. Zabuza dropped it, Naruto jumped off of it, basically being immune to lightning in some ways. And, kind of coated his fist in, a Nine Tails, not fist, his arm, and a Nine Tails aura, along with a lightning and fire imbued one. With it close on Zabuza, sending him flying across the bridge, running Gacho's men, knocking them all down like bowling pins. This Naruto ran all 4 of them at top speeds before going to Forta's cloak, as Kurama says, the will actually will let your friends see who you really are. That's what I was waiting for. Naruto scoffing, calling him a giant softy, saying that this is the beginning of a actual relationship, not a bunch of facades. He wanted the Nine Tails to drop his as well. Naruto paused before basically blowing up basically this whole giant area, not area, but a whole giant tail beast bomb right at the face of Gato. Naruto, in the meantime, actually sent a clone out already to grab Zabuza, bring him away from it, at least covering him with an explosion. Gato and all the men are dead, and Zabuza is alive but burned. Zabuza blessed by Naruto spared him, but not just this, he knows a thing or two about a facade. Zabuza should drop his. And Naruto turned away, picking up Haku's mask, saying he'll keep this as like memorabilia. So with this, Zabuza ended up unraveling his bandages before giving it to Haku, and Haku ended up putting them on to cover well half of his face, covering his mouth mainly. So yeah. With this, Naruto ends up returning to the Hidden Leaf, but Zabuza and Haku wanted to know his name, and then Naruto says he's Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke says his name is Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura says Sakura Haruno, Kakashi says, you know who I am, as he turns away. As Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura kind of like lower their heads in shame, saying, his line was so cool. And then Naruto even said that he can say a cool line. So yeah. But Kakashi kind of rubbed his head, saying, being cool comes with experience. And Naruto says, he's 13, already rivaling Kakashi. How cooler can he get? In terms of power, how much cooler can he get? So yeah. So with this, we go on basically. So we can go on to, I would say, maybe just Alright, so we go on basically now to just 2 exams. The 2 weeks would begin. And in the 2 weeks, we'll not to take on another apprentice, being Konohamaru. And Sakura realized, kind of tricked Ino into thinking that she doesn't like Sasuke anymore, but she just acknowledged him as a really good friend. Which actually shocked Ino that Sakura had dropped all of that just for her own power. But Sasuke, realized Sakura did that. He even see that it's just her turning her love into something different. Great small crush on Sakura himself. Even as Naruto, Sakura did have a crush on him still. Naruto says, no, she changed her crush into something that strives for power, not just looks. Not just looks and God-given, not God-able. You start something that isn't looks and natural skill. It's something that is, I would say, you have to better yourself and only yourself. But also have some way to use that betterment to protect yourself. So yeah. With this, Sasuke realized that, training even harder so they can protect. When this does give him a bit of like a, I would say, a bit of a different kind of memory. So yeah. So going forward, we go on basically to, I would say, Now going on, we go on to, I would say, now just, I guess the whole Kankuro thing. Now, Kankuro, when we go to Kankuro, Kankuro was actually able to turn it into an armbar. Kankuro had actually used his puppets, well, not puppets, but his string ability to actually pull Konohamaru's arm away from him, and she kind of put Konohamaru himself in a very difficult position. But Naruto already approached Konohamaru and Kankuro. Before Kankuro knew what was happening, he just kicked right in the face and knocked out on impact. And he walks away without paying them a second thought. But Gaara didn't even realize that Naruto was there. But, Shaku immediately kind of talked to Gaara, saying, Gaara doesn't like him, he doesn't like Gaara. But that kid's dangerous. Gaara would ask how he's dangerous, and, Shaku breaks down what the tailed beasts are. The 1 tails, hidden sand. 2 tails, hidden cloud. 3 tails, hidden mist. 4 tails, hidden stone. 5 tails, hidden mist. Then we have the 6 tails, which would go to, I believe, the 5 tails is a hidden stone. 6 tails is the hidden mist. 7 tails, the land of waterfalls, I believe. Then these 8 tails, hidden cloud again. 9 tails, the hidden leaf. Gaara didn't even need to think about what was happening. But what he knew is, alright, so Naruto basically kind of, Gaara got that Naruto was the 9 tails in Cherokee. He was like, what's the difference? You don't go along either, but we acknowledge each other. Then when Gaara was like, yes, we don't like each other. That's the difference between me and you and him and the 9 tails. It seems that they get along. It seems like they come to a small truce, lending small bits of power. Power isn't based off the tails. It says right now, even if I combine with the other 8-tailed beasts, we'll never beat the 9 tails. When Gaara heard that, he realized that beating Naruto was genuinely hopeless. How do you say to power right now? Gaara knows finals are coming up, so he actually told his team, avoid Naruto and his team. Because he thinks he'll plan to take them down, even though 1 tails is weary of him. Well, this is to shock his team, but who cares right now? So yeah. And now this we're going to go on the written test. And not just aware of who Itachi is and everything, he's aware of a lot of it because him and Kakashi get on pretty well. He hangs out with all the senseis, even Jiraiya occasionally. Jiraiya told him about the fourth Hokage and everything. Not that it's his father or anything. Even though Naruto secretly put that together by himself, it's just he's not sure of it. But with this, he's aware of where the top scores, and studied to beat Itachi's score, which he does do, but not Minato's just yet. So with this, not just a new time, but he's around one second short of Minato's, which is very shocking, actually. So he's turning his paper here. Well, he gets everything right, and he would leave. But before he knows it, well, suddenly the whole room had burst into flames, and once the flames, Sasuke and Sakura were able to dash around the room at top speeds, Ishii grabbing an answer sheet and copying everything down at top speeds. Sasuke began copying off Sakura, as he created a bigger distraction. By the time they're done, Sakura returned the answer sheet with flames getting stronger, but them dispersing eventually. But because Naruto's gloves are even immune to the Sharingan, even the Byakugan too, well, no one thought it was him. They thought it was a very elaborate, they thought it was a prank that went wrong or a very bad distraction. So yeah, so Sakura finished getting their answers down. Sakura turned in her paper, and Sasuke turned in his, getting the same score as Itachi, which Ibiki tells Sasuke to ignite his sense of competition, which actually didn't do. Instead, he calmed him down, and he says that it is one step closer to being able to confront him. Not beat him, confront. So yeah, how Sasuke's training is mostly all mental. He is strong, so is Sharingan. But he's training the Sharingan not even using hatred. He's training it using a drive to get to Naruto's level. He doesn't hate Naruto. He cares about him. It's his friend. Sasuke's unlocking features of the Sharingan that he didn't even think he would unlock yet. He even has a 220 Sharingan. Sasuke and Sakura are both growing mentally because of Naruto and his facade. But Naruto is aware that that's why they're growing. That's why he's keeping it up. So yeah. So with this, we go down to the Force of Death, where Team 7 would proceed to just grow. And eventually, when it came to this, Naruto met Rock Lee. Rock Lee actually asked Naruto Rock Lee was going to attack, but it seemed like someone stopped him for some reason. And Naruto was smirking, saying his secret ability allows him to create barriers. So he closed off Rock Lee's entrance to the room, which is why I didn't go over it. Well, he smirked, asking this ability, but Naruto put his hands together before making a giant like earth barrier, and it was shocked that Naruto can do that with no hand seals at all. Which actually shows how strong he is, and how much above everyone else he is. But Conqueror walks up his cards, and reveals everything about all Naruto's stats. For S ranks, he's accomplished 3 of them, shockingly. They were Jiraiya's, but he went with him either way, because Jiraiya's like, yeah, I could leave you behind here, I'm Boku, but if you're about as strong as a basic Chunin, maybe even a Jonin, you can go with me. One mission he sort away on, that's how he grew in just terms of mental ability. A lot of murder, really. In terms of the skill, well, it's kind of just a bunch of question marks as it fluctuates depending on how Naruto feels, but eventually it's settled at A rank, which is just a neutral Naruto. If he feels like not excited, if he feels cornered, it'll shoot to an S. But he's not cornered for himself; he's cornered for his friends. So yeah, everything else is revealed to be pretty top tier, comparable to a Jonin, which what Kabuto confirms. He's comparable to most Jonin. So yeah, so it's pretty impressive to them. So yeah, going on with this, we go on to now them getting their scrolls. Not just take a few quick glances. But Sasuke is in the Force. He says, "All right, who's the nearest one with our scroll?" Sakura pointed out team this way. Sasuke pointed out one this way. But they're not to be doing something different. Sniffing the air. Sakura knew what's getting at. She did it herself. Hers actually better than Naruto's. She says, "Closest team with a different kind of fabric." Sorry about that. I was planning on my birthday. All right, well, going forward. Yeah. So Sakura's it was somehow different kinds of fabric as she kind of sniffed the paper, but it was different for each one. Well, mainly the chocolate signature emitting off of it was different. We pointed out the nearest one happened to be the Hidden Rain team. And Naruto says, "Oh, he already knew that they're there from the start." He can smell their sweat. Well, fear mainly. As they're where he's Jinchuriki, he used their Jinchuriki ability quite frequently. What Naruto basically says, he can smell fear. Pretty common thing, actually. With that, he immediately charges one giant flame-based attack before she's destroying a whole acre of woods. And typical gag moment, well, the character's kind of like pretty burned up, all their clothes and everything, and they hit the ground, just coughing up smoke. But they will go over, they find the scroll, and they head to the tower immediately. Naruto ends up picking them both up before running at top speeds. And as he gets as far as he can, he eventually would arrive, at the, he would arrive, as I would say, at the, I say he arrives at, what was it? Oh yeah, to get just the tower. They arrive there, they open the scroll, summon Iruka. Iruka mentioned everything. And then with this, they end up passing in around 28 minutes or so. So with this 28 minutes, Gar's team eventually arrived, and Gar realized that Naruto was still in the center, but he was actually waiting for someone. Now, Kankura looks at Naruto wanting like saying, "Oh, want to go again? This time I'll beat the hell out of you, I guarantee it." Naruto means kind of punched him in the jaw and knocked him out again, saying, "Nope, too slow." Even with these pitiful strings, he's going to turn them off, saying he even uses better strings than this, and he's not even puppet user. So yeah. So with this, Naruto eventually had gotten to over to to Gaara. But Tamari kind of blushing looking at him, so yeah. So he got over to Gaara, and told Gaara he wants to teach Gaara to control the tailed beast. Not as a tool, but as an extension of your soul and your chakra. Their beings of pure chakra, it only makes sense to do that. We have to realize they still are their own living creatures. Gaara nodded, saying, "Well, what did you do to get along with yours?" And Naruto says he says all he did is find similarities. All Gaara has to do with his is find the same thing. That is the first step to becoming one with your beast. So he bowed to Gaara and walked away up to his room, telling Sasuke and Sakura, saying they better not be slacking off. So yeah. So with this, Naruto had kind of got Alright, so going on, we went through basically just the preliminaries. But in the meantime, the preliminaries, Orochimaru snuck a snake into Sasuke's room that coughed him up, then he bit Sasuke. Naruto still needs a strong rival. So yeah. So with this, we're going on to, I would say, So I can see this going on to probably just Sasuke versus Roy still. But can Sasuke versus Roy? Sasuke already knew how the fight would go. You already figured the curse mark as Naruto examined it, saying it's not a seal he knows of. So Sasuke should experiment with it, even if it hurts. So yeah. So as soon as the fight begins, you're right when Sasuke's saying, he'll make sure that Sasuke suffers. Sasuke tried to first strike before actually punching him. He would block it. Well, Sasuke enhancing his strength to his max of chakra, actually using up every ounce of chakra he had in his body. Knowing, he knows that all pain he would have would still occur, but he'd pass out immediately after this attack is launched. So with this, he breaks both of Yoroi's arms, a few ribs, and then sends him flying straight into a stone wall, even shattering it. Yoroi's body, even from the neck up, is even still cracked. Sasuke made sure that Yoroi is never a shinobi again. So yeah, so with this, as soon as Yoroi at the ground, he's coughing up blood, and blood kind of pouring out of every orifice that blood can pour out of. So yeah. So with this, so going on, we can go to, I would say, we'll probably play Sakura versus Ino now. But as soon as the fight starts, Sakura reveals that she still loves Sasuke, but she turned that love into power. Ino only turned it into useless energy. Ino basically says, it's not useless. She even cut her hair as well, really the whole wire thing. But with this, as soon as Sakura saw what Ino did, Sakura then scoffs saying it's a petty trick as she used the Senbon right in the wire. Ino first was thinking she was caught, only for Sakura just appear in front of Ino, and will simply just hug her. Sakura says that her and Ino can be friends again, and all that needs to happen is Ino needs to get stronger herself. Ino does begin to cry at this, but Sakura says, also, they're in a fight, they should end it. Ino tries to back away, only for Sakura just to suplex her, and was in the fight right then and there. Sakura stepped back up, before she joined into the stands, and Shikamaru actually asked Sakura if she meant any of it. Sakura teared up a bit, saying she meant all of it, but still, becoming a strong shinobi, or kunoichi, is still very important to her. But no more than a friendship to Ino, but one of them needs to win. And if Ino couldn't get her out of it, still happens. So yeah. So still going on. So we go on to, I would say, about... We'll probably go on forward again to Naruto vs. Kiba. Kiba attacks Naruto not really knowing him, but as soon as Kiba got near him, well, Naruto's gonna end up chopping Kiba in the back of the neck, so Kiba is a little bit too obvious. Akamaru went near Naruto, and Naruto's gonna stare at Akamaru, saying he knows how animals work. He sat down petting Akamaru, so Akamaru tried to bite him, but as Naruto kept petting Akamaru eventually calmed down and fell asleep. So it worked out. So, yeah. Pause. Alright, so going on again, well, we go like Rock Lee, Neji versus Hinata, that fight. It happened earlier. As soon as the fight begins and the Neji tries to go for like the final blow, actually, as soon as he would go in for like a few blows that would be deadly, well, Naruto ends up appearing, blocking the first blow that would be deadly, and everyone asks why he interfered, but he says, get a Hyuga in here and tell me tell me what the Hyuga says about the spot that the Neji try to hit. With this, immediately, well, the Hyuga would say so, because of the possibility, the fight is made a draw, and they're not just giving it a warning. So yeah. So going on with this, Hinata's still injured, but Naruto eventually had to convince him to let Neji at least participate, as he was the winner of the fight either way. But still, what he did was wrong. So yeah. And there's about Sasuke but says that person was lying either way. So it doesn't matter. Alright, going on, we go to basically just, well, I would say we can go on to maybe just, wait, hold on. Alright, so going on again. So, next part would be the month of training. Naruto said actually has this time, well, Rock Lee vs. Gaara too. Naruto had that fight, but had Gaara and the Shukaku actually being allies. Shoku calmed down Gaara before killing him, so there wasn't need for Naruto to intervene. But Naruto actually will step in a bit, actually will draw a line between them both, so that Rock Lee the fight, the fight's not over. But because Gaara has less injuries, and that he's healing faster, he's pronounced the winner. Rock Lee has one broken arm, and that's how it is. Just one broken arm. He's pretty good. He doesn't think Naruto stepping in, but he would like to fight more, even if he was lost. He knows he would have. He was like to keep fighting. But Naruto still told Rock Lee, just go to an examiner and see how bad your arm's broken, and then tell me if you want to continue the fight. And an hour later, Rock Lee came back, looking defeated, saying it was a good idea for him to not continue the fight. His arm would have broken up even smaller, and he would have lost. He would have lost to the point where he may not have continued being a shinobi. For this, Rock Lee had nodded, and then Naruto bowed to him as he would leave. But Naruto dragged Gaara away, telling Gaara will do special training alone. Which does confuse Gaara, saying, should we really abandon our villages? And Naruto says, we're not abandoning them, we're coming back 2 weeks later. Me and you will master our beast powers in only 2 weeks. With this, Naruto ended up taking off his glove, biting his thumb, summoning Gamaken, or not Gamaken, Gamakichi. And this was something Gamakichi are pretty good friends. He's known him since he was a tadpole. Actually, I'm pretty sure at this point, Gamakichi's still a tadpole, actually. Never mind. Gamaken. So Naruto used Gamaken to go to Mami Iboku. With this, he trained Gaara to take in nature energy, and, well, using said nature energy, he'd be able to, I would say, first this. I would say that the nature energy is allowing Gaara to reveal his chakra a lot faster. So going on. Wait, hold up. Alright, but this is Mount Miboku for 2 weeks, and they're all kind of franticing where Naruto and Gaara went. But because Naruto and Gaara don't have any interaction, and Tamarin, Kankuro, and Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi know where the two of them went. Well, they assume that Gaara went off to turn on his own. Just Tamarin and Kankuro mentioned that Gaara said he'll master his tailed beast in only 2 weeks. Kakashi said then Naruto went off to learn something called Sage Mode. He doesn't know too much about it, but he knows it's some form of frog Sage Mode. So yeah. Alright, so we go on now to just 2 weeks passing. But, a week and a half would pass. Kurama and Shaku got along themselves as Naruto and Gaara learned to actually sync their power. And Naruto himself did actually learn Sage Mode. He's already been on Mount Miboku a few times and will take in nature energy just passively. This was a pretty simple thing for him to do. And with this, Gaara taking the skill as well, and he's actually fully at peace. I see he's about as strong as he is. Not as strong. Well, nearly as strong as he is in the war arc. Nearly. So yeah. So with this, as they leave Mount Miboku appear at the gates of the Hidden Leaf and the Hidden Den respectively. Well, as Gara walks in, like Ross is like, Gara, where were you? Where have you been? Gara bows, saying he wants to make a formal statement to all the hidden sand. With this, they'll do so. They'll allow Gara to do so. As he steps up, saying he apologizes to all the hidden sand for Shaku's wrong beings. He spent the last week and a half taming the beast. And eventually, well, with this, he says that he's fully conquered the One-Tails. The One-Tails no longer be a threat to the hidden land of wind. Hell, the world no longer be a threat of a tailed beast. He's learned interesting things about them. He bows down, saying he hopes that they'll accept their humble apology. As Gara says with his advanced control over sand as well, make sure the hidden sand is never threatened. And then he says he's even made peace with the Nine Tails. And it's Shinchuriki. With this, Olgar has honesty emitting from him, so the hidden sand erupts in cheers, without even making the same announcement. So with this, well, the hidden sand and hidden leaf are now officially allies. With the pieces being connected, there's something Naruto and Gara went off together to completely just train themselves. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So this we can go on to, I would say, about I could say it's going on to the finals now. Where's Naruto versus Neji still? As soon as Neji went for an attack, Naruto immediately kind of grabbed Neji by the arm and flipped him in the air immediately. Then proceeded to kick Neji right in the chest, full force. And knocked the wind out of him. So, yeah. So, as soon as Neji hit the ground, well, he got back up, like, coughing. But Naruto tells Neji that Neji is being clouded by something. He doesn't know what, but he is. He senses that from the first encounter as well, and Neji needs to face it. So this prefers to just start being the method of Neji like he did at Sasuke, but sending a message with his fists. But in the fight, well, even like Hiyashi's questioning Naruto why he went so hard on Neji. Like, he knows he's strong. He went easy on even Kiba, who's more annoying than Neji's pride is. With this, we actually we see Sasuke walking in the room, saying he saw what Naruto was trying to do. And she brings up if Hiyashi feels a message from strong fighters such as Fugaku, Kakashi, Hiruzen. Does he feel a message if he were to fight them? Does he think he would? Hiyashi says he's fought strong Hyuga. He can feel and send a message with his fists. Then Naruto says, well, from a Sannin that he's been trained under, he has to do the same thing. Sasuke can do it as well. Neji can't hear or send a message with his fists either. Or he can send it, but he can't hear it. He can hear his own message. Teach Neji how to do that, and he'll figure out how to get stronger quickly. There's Naruto turning away, and before bowing by Hiyashi and Neji and walking away. Alright, so with this, the fights go on. Sasuke eventually had fought Gaara still. But this time because of Sasuke and Gaara's advanced power, mainly Gaara is just trapping Sasuke to the point where Sasuke can't even move. But Gaara says he's going to hurt Sasuke too badly. So with this, immediately Sasuke kind of just jumped in. Well, not jumped in. Gaara jumped in, hitting Sasuke in the gut once. And how strong the hit was, since Sasuke flying through the air, as Gaara had learned a bit of just sage techniques. This blow was enhanced by sage energy and knocked out Sasuke on impact. So yeah. But so I'll go on probably now to just Sakura vs. Shino and something that happens, because I'd say Kankuro lost. So with this, Sakura had been defeated by Shino had been defeated by Sakura, basically. He took one punch from her and he just submitted because his skin kind of cracked. So. But going on, we can say like I guess now just the Konoha Crush would begin. But in the Konoha Crush, nothing interesting would really happen. One, Ross is alive. Him and Gaara are on good terms. Gaara and him train constantly. Ross was able to protect Orochimaru. So yeah. So with Orochimaru being pushed back, Ross is alive, but still pretty badly injured. He's one tending, but as alert Hiruzen Rise the Konoha Crush is about to begin. So immediately he kind of grabbed Hiruzen and pulled him away, as one of his guards trying to beat Orochimaru. And Orochimaru's like, Ross, what do you think you're doing? We've had a small scuffle, but why would you betray me? So yeah. So yeah. Pause. Alright, so going on, we can say basically just well, Kono Crush just happened, but there's Rasa and Orochimaru Rasa and Hyojin against Orochimaru, but also Gaara wanting to actually protect his father, he's grown close to recently. So Gaara goes like full Shikaku. There's no weakness revealed because Gaara's actually hiding. Also, Shikaku's a lot more durable, so due to the work that hits him can't really be penetrated. It have to be at least like I would say Chidori scale in terms of destructive power to actually even penetrate him. With this, well, the barrier being cracked by Gaara, no matter how much it actually burns, it will not actually burn away. It's just kind of cracking him. So yeah. But with this, immediately as like the barrier's being cracked, Naruto himself would appear in like a four-tails cloak, punching the barrier as hard as he can, destroying it on immediately. So yeah, so this kind of just leaves Orochimaru's soldiers this on 4, but Kabuto would intervene, hitting Naruto once. When this one hit Naruto, even made him cough up blood, which actually kind of tore him up a lot on the insides. But with how accustomed he is to actually strong attacks that would injure him internally, as he's taken 1 or 2 Rasengan's to the chest before. He gave Dry a scar, so Dry gave him one back. So yeah. But yeah, so we can go on again. I would probably say now. Well, I can see Kabuto's defeat pretty quickly because once he hit Naruto with that attack, Naruto immediately kind of hit him back in the chest once in Four Tails cloak and impaled him through the chest. It didn't kill him because of Kabuto's basic abilities, but also Orochimaru. So yeah, so Kabuto is pretty injured, and something creates a large diversion. A few people in cloaks do. So with this, we would have basically the escape of Orochimaru and Kabuto. This time for I can see everyone escaping actually because of how many people would attack. Everyone who attacks is basically just Danzo and his root, just so that Orochimaru can still help him. So yeah. You don't know who these people are. They all have like faces that are unknown because the root is never really revealed who they are because they're kind of gotten as babies or little kids. So yeah. Hold up. So the Kono Crush kind of ends in the Hidden Sounds retreat. Rasa does apologize for this, and he did tell Hiruzen on one end, but for some reason no one actually prepped it. No prepped it, but no one could do it. But so we can go on again now to just finding Tsunade as what happened. But Hiruzen does think that his poor leadership is why the Kono Crush still somewhat happened. So he wants to find Tsunade. Naruto and Dry would do it. They find her in pretty short amount of time, actually. So yeah. So we can just go on to I would say probably just like I guess Itachi and Kisame do fight against like I would say they fight against like Kakashi and Guy and all them. But also guys helping Lee recover from he recovered early. His hand's broken badly, but Tsunade isn't required to fix it. So when it came basically the fights, even if you Genin step in. And Sasuke doesn't know Itachi's presence. He's used sensing things now because of Naruto. And also just having chakra enhancements. So Sasuke, Sakura, Lee, Neji, and a few others would go and yeah. So yeah, kind of with all this, I would say that Itachi and Kisame are overwhelmed. Or even Kisame ends up breaking a lot of bones. Itachi has pretty bad burn marks. But Sasuke's hatred is still there. It's just not in battle. So yeah. So we go on now, basically just Naruto fighting Kisame and Itachi, but he fights him around the same time that fights Tsunade. And Naruto's in the bar right now because he had enough of Tsunade's BS words. He kind of just left. Tsunade, an old fool who knows nothing to be a shinobi. She lost her way. But before she Naruto, he left, but then 5 minutes later, he's thrown through the bar. Which just even confuses Kakashi. Confuses Jiraiya, who could throw Naruto. He can barely do that in his normal form. But then something shocks him, Naruto's even in his 3 tails cloak. But Naruto eventually kind of ran on all fours, straight towards whoever's doing it, and punched at them. Adrenaline Shockwave is emitted, and Adrenaline just cloud away into the bar. Dry went outside with Tsunade and Shizune to see what's going on, only see Itachi and Kisame. Kisame was able to tank a majority of the blow using Samehada, but Naruto still left a giant imprint on Samehada before she running on Kisame, and she put him in an armbar, like a flying armbar, and breaking his arm. But then as soon as Itachi touched Tsukuyomi and Naruto, he basically just tanked it. Tsukuyomi didn't affect him too much. But the Naruto being coating his whole body in every single nature release, making his Nine Tails aura turn actually a dark blackish color. And through Tachi, he's like, Amaterasu one, the kind of just stuck there. And then I punch Tachi in the face. Amaterasu didn't spread, but instead just got destroyed somehow. But Tachi doesn't know how. But then Naruto eventually can put his hands together, and immediately, the cloak can disperse, making one, I would say one black orb. Naruto molded this orb straight into a staff that hit Tachi. Tachi thought he'd take the blow, only for his body to completely crumble under pressure and be just have everyone in his body destroyed with this one attack. He's made sure to tank the attack with Samehada as well, only Samehada to be torn in half. Not torn in half, but hit to the ground immediately and keeps him getting a large cut across his chest. Naruto is using a Keke Toda. This Keke Toda being, yin-yang release. With his relationship to the Ninetales, it is perfect. He's not KCM yet. He's getting there. He's getting really close to it. But yeah, so he beat Kisame with his new Keke Toda being Truth Orbs. And, yeah. Going on now, we go on to basically just trip back to Konoha. We're not doing this one that she does achieve the KCM 1. And Minato first, which did allow, Minato in like the 1.5 weeks of Agara, which was pretty tame. But he advanced further with Kushina, as he fought the Ninetales full on, as he got the confidence to fight the Ninetales after beating these two. And then honestly, even 2 weeks he even beat a canonical Sakura at this point, so, yeah. So Naruto was able to beat Kurama. Which he was shocked by, but he still beat him. So yeah. But going after this, she KCM 1, went up to him leave, showed off his new power. So yeah. But well, I can see now going on to basically just probably now the 2 year time skip. The 2 year time skip it's not really like too much to happen, I would say. Not so much to happen. It would be like not much happened that's important to the story, I would say. Kisame and Tachi are under arrest. Sasuke does have a bit of hatred, but he will leave in a different way. He leaves to get power. Sure. He has curse mark. Sure. He leaves to go actually to betray Orochimaru. That's only his whole intention. He leaves because of Itachi. He leaves because he wants to actually impress Itachi. Because he's a we go on to when flashback when Kakashi's like, well, you know who I am. When this whole thing was obvious, like, you know who I am. I don't need to say my name. He leaves. Sasuke has a very similar, not very similar, but a very cool phrase he wants to say to Itachi once he finishes his training, and he's going to kill Orochimaru before he says it. He trains this whole 2 years, saying that he's used nature energy from Naruto, using it occasionally. He wants to become a sage. And with Kabuto's help on this project, Sasuke does become a snake sage. I'm talking about like the kind of sage that like meat ski it. Not meat ski. He can be like an aura, but not turn into a full-fledged like snake thing. I can't see this going on to just Sasuke mastering his power. I'm not getting like A3 Tomoe Sharingan. I'm getting like I'm Mangekyo Sharingan. I'm still getting enough power to actually will have a Genjutsu nearly matching Tsukuyomi. Nearly matching it. So yeah. So with this, as soon as Sasuke will try to leave at the beginning of the 2 year time skip, he fights Orochimaru and Kabuto. We can't quite beat them yet, but he's getting there. He pushed the whole base to their limits, but he will push himself to his limit too. But when it came to Kage retrieval mission, with how strong Gaara's been getting, even Ross is surviving, so pressing on his abilities to Gaara, and Gaara even will learning a few jutsu. When we came to the Kage retrieval mission, Gaara killed Deidara. He killed him. As soon as Deidara these creatures in the same defense, when it blew up, the barrier wasn't phased. At the best, it sunk down, revealing a whole other barrier made of gold. Which did greatly confuse Deidara. Gaara says he's not used to using this ability, but when he does use it, no one can damage him. You guys are wondering what this is? Well, Gaara learned a special ability from Naruto, being basically just a lot of insane taijutsu. A lot of it. Yeah, Gaara can punch the air once, as basically a giant spike of steel went straight forward to basically just the chest of Orochimaru. Not Orochimaru, of Deidara. Impaled Deidara cleanly, and as soon as it impaled Deidara, Sasuke tried to attack Gaara using poison. For some reason it didn't penetrate Gaara's clothing. Gargoyle's clothing outlined. Well, first he has like weights on his waist. But also, well, there's like I guess iron, sand, and gold dust outlining his clothing just to weigh it down even more. This is his training for the day. So with this, as soon as it hit him, well, Sasori's tail kind of cracks immediately. Almost regarded kind of backhand it and shatter the tail completely, and shoving his fist clean through the turtle, through the shell, grabbing grabbing Sasori. But Sasori able to be puppet himself. But Gara kind of smirked at Sasori to use puppets, but they all were just being weighed down by Gara. And then Gara was like, he grab the strings, not Sasori. The best you get hair of Sasori by the hair, and that's about it. So Sasori thought his puppets were a bit at a disadvantage, but Kankuro was actually able to somehow move his puppets away from him. Even Chio could do it too as she arrived. But when Kankuro could do this and Sasori cannot, Kankuro has got a lot stronger than 2 years. Gara saw strength that was unfathomable. But with this, well, Kankuro is able to out like, his skills not as good as Sasori's is, but he has a lot more variety and skills than Sasori. Sasori has overall better skills, but Kankuro spreads across a wider field with even stats. They're mastered, but they're a lot more even. With this, he's actually able to overwhelm Sasori's mastery, with Chio's help. And with this, with Sasori being pretty badly beaten, well, Tamari coming clutch, destroying all his puppets, and even knocking him out. And with this, they destroy Sasori's heart after getting all the information they need. Regard gives us information to the Hidden Leaf, but a new Naruto would emerge. This new Naruto having longer hair, but also wearing the Hokage cloak, being the 6th Hokage. He may be 16 years old, but he's the 6th Hokage. So yeah. He also attained the title of God of Shinobi too. He also surpasses Hiruzen, who's the previous God of Shinobi, but even beat Danzo in a fight too. Actually firing Danzo and destroying the whole root hideout, actually. We're done. Danzo did leave the Hidden Leaf and defected because of that. So, yeah. So, yeah. And with this, by the time we go on to basically just, I would say, the Tenchi Bridge mission, as soon as Kabuto met up with Sasori. So, yeah. Alright, so yeah, so around the time of Tenchi Bridge, Sasori, quote unquote, being Yamato, would meet with Kabuto. Kabuto, seems a bit weak, realizing that Sasuke was a traitor, and Sasuke had killed basically everyone in the base besides him. He narrowly escaped. So yeah. So with this, we'd go on to basically just, Kabuto related that he knows this is not like Sasori. But, it happens to be Yamato, but Kakashi appeared next to him, saying that Kabuto stands no chance, no matter how strong he's gotten in the last few years. So he kind of just gets back-fisted across the bridge, being caught by Sasuke. Sasuke would smirk, telling Kabuto that this is the wrong choice to try to ambush the Hidden Leaf, as he didn't know the whole plan. But he eventually took him out, and they arrested him. So yeah. So yeah. Alright, so yeah. So we can go on, probably, I would say, to now, just the next mission. Which the other missions so far just kind of just chill out. Those missions were pretty mellow, including the one when it was Shikamaru and Asuma. Not to learn the details of the mission a lot earlier. So yeah, he learned the whole thing with Chiriku, knowing that Asuma may not seek revenge, but Asuma may be a target himself. So yeah. So with this, what Naruto would do, instead, he sends out Asuma and Shikamaru, but a spy being, not spy, a follower being Rock Lee. Rock Lee and Guy. So as soon as the circle's about to be drawn, with Naruto interviewing the monks, as soon as the circle's being drawn, the pentagram, immediately we end up seeing someone appear, being Rock Lee, who then immediately just takes heat on right in the knees, and breaks both of them. With both of his knees being broken, eventually he's kind of rolled in like a chokehold by Lee, who just chokes him out eventually. So yeah. So he done choked out and unconscious. Akatsuki tries intervening into Lee, and Asuma just realizes that his life is saved, and he's happy that Naruto prepped this. Shikamaru is sad that he didn't prep this, and that Asuma almost died because of him. But Akatsuki attacks, immediately punched in the back by someone, being a fourth Gate Might guy. With the force he used, he destroyed all four of the hearts in his back, but he didn't destroy the original heart. But, well, Rock Lee already prepped this. Rock Lee had immediately kind of got a poison from his pocket and shoved it in Kakuzu's neck and poisoned him, which made him pass out. So, so yeah. Yeah. So we can go on. Probably, I would say the next part being I would say we can go on maybe to just now Kakuzu being interrogated. Finding out that the base operations is near like the hidden rain. They don't know if they're exactly, but they know it's near it. With this, Naruto assembles a task force. As soon as Jiraiya tries to go, well, he will consult Naruto and Tsunade. Not just Tsunade because she's the Hokage, not just Tsunade because he's not just the Hokage and his son, and Tsunade because she's his crush, and if he doesn't come back, he wants her to at least hear his voice. But Naruto immediately tells Jiraiya that he already knew this. He's half the reason that Jiraiya has such a good network. So with this, he immediately gathered the force, telling Tsunade to get up. And Tsunade would do so, saying she was ready already. So with this, Tsunade put her headband on. Jiraiya was just shocked. But then Sasuke also appeared, saying that Orochimaru happened to not be dead, but he's captured right now. So until he gives information of the other bases, he'll be under arrest for now. But if he gives information in the meantime, Sasuke can come back and just do some other mission that I assigned to you. Sasuke would nod. And then another gets to join them, being Kisame. So yeah, Kisame joined them as Kisame was arrested in jail. He's not dead, but he's alive. Samehada, who's fully repaired, he thanks Naruto for it. With this, they all end up leaving, heading down all the way over to, I would say, they head down basically to the hidden rain, with Jiraiya being the only one revealed. Sasuke decides himself as a snake, as a water snake mainly. Tsunade transformed into a slug, slithering around, and then, well, we have Kisame, who's kind of just like with Jiraiya, depending have Jiraiya as like a captive. So yeah. Alright. So we go on basically just to Jiraiya being dragged over to pain, and immediately, well, this is a shock Yaki on Konan, how believable it looks. He still has pretty bad wounds from his fight against Naruto. These wounds some of them look fresh too. He asks about Itachi, and then Kisame says that Itachi's pretty beaten up, and he's still in prison. He couldn't break him out. But he snuck in Samehada they thought he was treated. In the middle of them trying to get Samehada back, and they had missed. Well, he killed all the Shonen gathering him as he cut off Samehada. He killed everyone around him. Which is a believability. They know he can do that. Dry didn't know he could do it, but he's made to still the thing against allies. So, yeah. Alright, so we go on now basically to the next part being, I guess fight against pain. Because, with this, quickly realize that Jiraiya wasn't like too roughed up. And the fight that should have been. And then Kisame is strong, but not strong to leave Jiraiya like this, no matter how much he trains. With this immediately, Pain called the bluff. But, Kisame kind of smirks, saying, alright then, you caught me. Which does actually just annoy, Pain. It confuses him and Konan. Why he uses him so easily as he just bows down. Konan walked over to him and say, what's your plan? Only for him to spit something on her that bound her up. And basically, it was just like a syrup jutsu that's like syrup something. I forgot how far it was. So Konan wrapped up, no matter what she uses, is, Jiraiya would eventually just fire at Pain. Pain's able to escape him, about to kill Jiraiya. Or she Kisame first, just free Konan. But then he holds out his hand, as Pain thinks it's a jutsu, he backs up a bit. And all the past Pain arrive, only for one of them to arrive with the snake in his sleeve, and it was just a bluff. Immediately this, the snake had pooped into a full-blown human, with the human shooting a snake out of his hand, eating one of the past Pain's head, and Sasuke killing the other one. With that, the past Pain quickly killed in a flash with Sasuke's Sage Cloak. And with that, he actually hits Pain into a wall, not destroying it, but disabling it. So yeah. Next up, basically be like the real Naruto being found by Tsunade. So yeah. So hold up. So as he finds basically Tsunade found him. Tsunade eventually still get impaled, but she caught about to be impaled, but she caught it and threw it to the ground. And told Naruto they're not here for a fight. They're here to actually help him. Tsunade says she will restore his body to some degree and allow him to walk, but not constantly. He'll still need wheelchairs and everything. When he says this, Naruto will take it. He'll take it. So yeah. So with this ability to be able to walk and somewhat have power, he allows it. So yeah. So he kind of just surrenders. So yeah. So with the surrender of surrender of Tsunade, surrender of Nagato, it works. Alright, so yeah, Pain will Nagato submitted to Tsunade. She heals him for a bit, and then eventually Naruto even steps in as he has creation of all things at this point. That's how he created the Chunin Orb a few years ago. It was a low level version of it, but now with a complete control over the Nine Tails and actually decent like control over his training and everything and how much he does. Creation of all things is not out of his realm possibility. So yeah, so creation of all things something that Naruto has, and allows him to use abilities to actually heal Nagato. Then going forward, we'd probably go on to the Obito being last member of the Akatsuki left, with everyone else being defeated pretty easily. Kakuzu's still imprisoned, but kind of sealed away to the point where his heart is just a regular heart, and he cannot replace it. So kind of Kakuzu's kind of currently dying of old age. Then eventually everyone else would also will. There's really only one dead member of the Akatsuki, not one, two dead members of the Akatsuki being three: Deidara, Kakuzu, Deidara, Hidan, and Sasori. Those three dead members. So Sasori Hidan was buried alive because he had no useful information. So, yeah. So, yeah. I can see what's going on now again to basically just, So going on, we can probably go forward again to the next part. Being, Well, I guess now the five Kage Summit. Came to that, there's not much things going on here. Naruto as the Kage, Gaara as the Kage. They both became Kage around the same time as in canon. So, yeah. But Raso, with pretty heavy scars, is Guard's guard, alongside Tamara and Kankuro. Naruto's guards are Jiraiya, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Sasuke, and Tachi. Those are three guards. So, yeah. So, So we can go on, I would say, to the next part. Well, now I'm probably being open to declaring a war on them. But Naruto Smirk was just confused, Obito a lot. As he he studied Naruto. He thinks that Naruto's power does come from its gloves. He's not wrong about it. So yeah. So with him not really being wrong and having a good estimate of his power, I could see him going on to probably just taking Naruto out of his gloves. There's no way he can be strong enough to actually fight him. But one thing for Naruto that I haven't mentioned at all that actually is true right now. Naruto's down in one eye. Mustang lost vision in both eyes. Naruto lost vision in one eye. You guys remember like an hour ago? Well, like an hour, like 45 minutes ago, where Naruto basically had got to burn a bit of the sword of Zabuza, but Zabuza splashed the burning metal in Naruto's face, so it went into his eye. Couldn't destroy his eye over time, but with how good Naruto's team factor is, his eye doesn't look pretty bad. So, So yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I guess now would probably just be the best time to go over Naruto's power. Yeah, Naruto eventually kind of basically just ended up using a giant jutsu to kind of make a giant barrier go straight over the area. So with the giant barrier being basically put over the area, Obito can't get out of it. So yeah. So with Naruto basically had happening, the barrier put up. Naruto eventually did actually kind of corner Obito himself, and Zetsu as well, but Zetsu's cornered already by Itachi. So Naruto and Gaara, being the strongest Kage currently, would fight against Obito, and they do pretty damn well. Naruto has Tsuchiyo's cloak and has Fleet Mastered it already. Plus, Baryon mode isn't outside of the realm possibility. So yeah. So they still do beat Obito. Doesn't matter. With Obito defeated, we can go forward on to just now the next few years happening. Obito is still being arrested, and Madara not being revived. Kabuto's dead. There's no one to do it. Well, not dead. He's dead actually. Which was arrested too, but he's at peace. So yeah. Going on, fast forward now to the last movie where Hanabi has his eyes taken, or the puppets actually. When it came to the puppets, Naruto killed them all. It was a pretty simple thing to do. So yeah. So we're basically just puppets being taken care of pretty easy by Naruto until Naruto trying to escape. But with how strong Naruto is already and his all the abilities in general, Naruto pretty easily caught up to Tsuneri, who can escape the eye. He can escape Earth orbit with the eyes. If he wanted to, Naruto is getting to the moon. A true orb can expand a lot. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So this basically just ends the defeat of Tsuneri pretty quickly. So with this defeat of Tsuneri, well, he Hanabi gets her eyes back. Tsuneri also imprisoned himself. Okay, so Tsuneri never had a chance at like Hanabi's eyes ever. Well, he did, but Naruto stopped him. So at this point, Naruto was roughly about like 5 years into his 10 years, like the first sixth Hokage. So yeah. Then going forward, we go on to the next part, being like just Boruto now. We're coming to Shin Uchiha, but Shin Uchiha's pretty easily wiped out by Sakura when it came to him versus her. Neither Sakura's advanced knowledge chakra control very early on as a kid, but she immediately knew that just grabbing Shin once could kill him, and she did just that. Like, one of the Shin went to impale her. One of the Shin that he has to do surgery on him. She just poked him once, and then his heart just stopped completely, and he died. That's the end of the fight with Shin. So yeah. Also, Naruto's wife is still Hinata, so yeah. Going forward again, we go on Sasuke versus like Momoshiki and Kinshiki, which is usually just, well, Obito, Sasuke, Kisame, Itachi, and Nagato, usually that group. And when they fought Momoshiki and Kinshiki, the three of them pretty easily killed Kinshiki. Momoshiki was a struggle, but they did do pretty bad damage to him, so it worked out. So yeah. So yeah. So we can go forward now. I would say the next part being, well, now just Momoshiki taking Konoha, but not at none. But there's no Kinshiki. Maybe like Urashiki's there, but Urashiki had to fight Jiraiya, who's a lot stronger than Kanon and a perfect sage at this point. So Jiraiya killed him. And then we eventually have to fight. It's like Momoshiki versus Naruto. Sasuke oh no, I'll handle it. Naruto's like, no, it's my turn. I'll do it. You're my friend. You already fought him once. You're fine. With this, Naruto ran straight towards Momoshiki. Then it basically just appeared right, kind of basically just in front of him, and completely just hit him once point blank with an explosion, and turned him to ash in just one blow. Next up would be the whole Kawaki saga, which basically just no different, just a stronger Boruto with black hair. Well, still blonde hair because Naruto's hair is a pigmentation thing. So yeah, or melanin thing basically, but yeah. But yeah, so with this, Naruto basically had to fight against Jigen when he first arrived. We came to Jigen the first time. Jigen attacked Naruto, not knowing Naruto's skill set whatsoever. Well, he knew that he's a really strong shinobi, comparable to Hagoromo actually. Well, Naruto's abilities are comparable to Hagoromo, but at least everything about him expresses Hagoromo besides intelligence. But Naruto used one simple explosion to send Jigen flying all the way into a building. As soon as Jigen tried to recover, Naruto's bombarding with explosives to the point where the Jigen's body is being destroyed. Yes, he's usually durable, but Naruto's destroying him completely. So yeah. With this, Naruto eventually had kind of blew a hole through Jigen's head, and that's where we knew where the real Jigen was. So because of that, he killed Jigen. Well, Jigen killed Ishiki. Jigen was already dead a long time ago. So yeah. With this, Ishiki's dead. And Code doesn't want to fight Naruto now, but Naruto, not even using KCM or even Sage, not even using any sense of the Nintendo's power, killed Jigen and Ishiki. Well, killed Ishiki. So yeah, Naruto doesn't need to do much. He ended up fighting Code. He killed him in seconds. The fight wasn't too long, actually. So yeah. Oh, pause. Alright, so yeah, so Code's pretty easy. It works. Ida doesn't work on Naruto because I just feel like most dojutsu requires at least visual or audible power. Yeah, Naruto kind of blow his own eardrums and close one eye. That's kind of how the fight went. And Naruto pretty easily just destroyed her. So yeah. So yeah. So with this pretty easily makes the defeat of Kara. Kara wasn't really a hard battle, honestly. But I hope you guys enjoyed this what if. Like and subscribe for another one. Adios.